Well, Bobby Gonzalez, Robert from Houston, will be in his 7th world title fight, and a good one as he gets the final instructions.
Recibieron las instrucciones en los distribuidores. Give me a clean fight, dame una pelea limpia. Obey my commands at all times. Obedezco mis mandatos siempre. Protect yourself at all times, and the best man wins. Se protege siempre, que gane el mejor peleador.
Well, there you see the benefits of having a gentleman that indeed does speak not only English, but Spanish as well. Quiroga does speak Spanish. He could understand those instructions, but they wanted to make perfectly clear that both fighters understood what Mr. Gonzalez wanted in this fight today.
And Bobby Gonzalez, a world-class referee from Houston, Texas.
Well, we get ready to rumble as both fighters will be wearing the white trunks, the blue trim, as you take a good look at Robert Quiroga. A little anxiety in this little man from San Antonio. He knows that he's been in some very tough fights and expects another one today. The other side, Borboa, a man that comes in with a dream of a world title. But he's got to do it the hard way and beat the champion in his hometown. They waste no time and throw it some leather here in round 1.
I don't think there'll be much of a feeling out process here, Sam. These guys are looking for respect, just like Aretha Franklin.
I think the touch of the feeling out came in the touching of the gloves after the instructions by Bobby Gonzalez. Good active first round here by Borboa as the champion trying to figure out how he's going to counter him and get the offensive in his ring.
Robert trying to get low here, get underneath his opponent.
Both fighters are listed at 5'4". However, Borboa looks just a tad taller because of the crouching style of Quiroga. Borboa more the stand-up type fighter here. Halfway through the first of a scheduled 12-rounder.
Borboa, the kind of fighter, as he demonstrated in the Cote fight, he doesn't have everything on every punch. A lot of them are little slapping, little short punches. He just gets out there to find his range, and he comes in with the third and fourth punches of these combinations that really have something on them. Good quick combination by the champion.
One thing that Borboa, again in the white with the blue on the left of your screen, is able to do is that good left jab. Both of them are listed at 64.5-inch reach. With no advantage, almost like looking in a mirror for these two guys.
Good action here. Good hooks by the champion, Robert Quiroga, landing flushly on the chin of the challenger. Robert fighting this fight from that low angle right in front of Borboa.
Borboa trying to duck inside. Quiroga makes him play with a couple of shots. There's that dicking shot to the left side of the challenger. Who again will have to attack from the top down because of the crouching style of Quiroga. You see it there.
Robert's right down there in the pocket where he wants to be, trying not to make a good target out of himself. But Borboa is an accurate, he touches you, he just touches you, set you up, touch you with little stuff, and there's a good hook by the challenger. And an elbow to follow.
10 seconds to go in round 1. Good left hooks thrown by the challenger. He threw 4 in a row. Cuts.
Yeah, they were horrible cuts. The corner of Borboa has instructed him in between round to come up the middle, work up the middle on this guy. Uppercuts.
Round number 2 of a scheduled 12-rounder. Quiroga in the solid white with the red lettering on the front of his tassel-clad white trunks.
Good strong left jab by the champion, Robert Quiroga.
Quiroga, if he is successful in defending his title today, would set a new record in the junior bantamweight division. The record is 5. He has already tied that. 6 would be an all-time record for a junior bantamweight.
Borboa going right to the champion, showing him no respect.
An excellent crowd has come out to see their hometown favorite. in Quiroga, a crowd probably just in excess of about 6,000 in this Howlett Hall in San Antonio. And they will be cheering on every exchange by Quiroga, which means they'll be cheering a lot today.
That's right. Both fighters getting their shots in here. And this is really developing into the kind of fight that we anticipated, Sam.
Quiroga, you can see how he is slowly but surely trying to turn the fight a little bit. Borboa was the one that was the aggressor round one, and Quiroga was having to counter. Now Quiroga is trying to come out and get off first. Borboa is doing his share, trying to prevent that, though.
After seeing the tail of the tape, Sam, and these guys being equal in everything, I really didn't. I think it can't be that accurate, because Borboa really seems to be the bigger fighter in there right now. Bigger, not necessarily delineating better, but
you know, you look further on that tail of the tape, both are 23. We mentioned that the weight is 115, the height is 5'4", the reach is the same, and both of them have a heart about as big as Texas.
Yeah, they can't weigh that on the scale. Good combination by the champion, but Borboa is right in this fight.
Borboa, as are most of the Mexican fighters, coming from an extensive amateur career. 120 wins, 12 losses, 96 knockouts as an amateur. 17 of his 22 wins as a pro have come as a knockout.
And he's fighting tough competition down there in Mexico. You can be sure of that.
Quiroga scores. Balboa comes back with one of his own. Cedric Kushner Sports Network in cooperation with Corona Extra, bringing you World Championship Fighting today. From San Antonio, Texas, Sam Smith, Bob Spagnola, and all of our crew. Glad you can join us in the first of our new series of world title fights around the world. Quiroga, the champion here.
Borboa parrying a lot of Robert's punches right there in that last exchange. But the thing about Robert Quiroga is he doesn't get disenchanted, he doesn't get disappointed, he just gets in your behind. Good right hand by the champion.
Quiroga, the champion, will make $100,000 for this fight today, but has bigger paydays ahead of him. And with this turnout of this crowd, he easily could come back and defend his title if he gets by Borboa here in this same arena later on. But Borboa may have something else to say about it.
Good combination being landed by the challenger on the inside. Robert slipping a lot of those punches, but not all of them. It'll be like take turns here, Sam.
Yep.
You take mine and I take yours.
It's like the little hourglass timers. You turn it one way, it all runs down. You turn it up the other way, and here it comes again. Borboa has been well schooled with that left jab. He is flipping it, if nothing more, just trying to keep Quiroga occupied to try to load up with the right hand.
It's a range finder, and it's a defensive weapon, too. He uses that shoulder to protect his chin from those right hands. He's a good fighter, this Borboa. But what would we expect from south of the border at 115 pounds?
Yep. Digging left hand right at the belt by Quiroga on the challenger. Oh, big left hook. Caught Quiroga going backwards and almost knocked him off balance, but it did land well. Yeah, Quiroga comes back with his own.
It was more of a balance thing, but the thing about Robert is he doesn't know how to back up, so we could expect more of that if Borboa forces him backwards.
Closing seconds of the third round. As advertised, the war at the Coliseum has begun.
And here comes Quiroga.
So a cut on the eye of the champion. Round 4 of a scheduled 12-rounder. Borboa now sensing a little blood. Now sees what he can do. Big right hand right in on that eye again. Quiroga, in his 6th title defense here, was the youngest of the junior bantamweights ever to win the world title at the age of 20 in April of 1990. May have been somewhat of a surprise over Juan Carlos Perez. He did that over in Sunderland, England. And has since, as I mentioned, made 5 title defenses as that blood trickles into his eye.
It didn't take that cut very long to start bleeding, Sam, but Robert Quiroga's a man, and that's one thing about him. He's going to come in here and but those little parrying left jabs that just aggravate that cut throughout this fight.
Keep in mind some of the rules of the IBF as Quiroga tees off on the challenger. 10-point must-scoring system. 3 judges at ringside. The referee does not figure. There is no 3 knockdown rule, nor 8 standing 8 count. Fighter can be saved by the bell only in the last round, and the referee's the only man to stop the fight. However, with that cut now for Quiroga, you know a doctor will be in the corner watching that closely, and he can advise the referee as to the stoppage of the fight.
But Robert's been here before. He's been in big fights. He's been bleeding before. It really hasn't affected him at all, other than the fact that Borboa has gotten excited about the fact that, oh, and there's a hard combination by the challenger. Hurt Quiroga for the first time in the fight. Those uppercuts up the middle are picking Robert up and getting him out of his rhythm, Sam.
The challenger from Mexico has come with a dream in his mind of a world title into the hometown of the champion. With a minute to go in round 4, he clearly has got the champion a little bit in trouble here, not only with a cut, but his combinations, uppercuts, body work is doing some damage.
His uppercuts are giving Robert a lot of trouble here. He might be cut over the other eye, Sam.
The crowd is doing their best to keep their champion in it. The only thing that will stop Robert Quiroga would be a cut, though. He will not quit.
Oh, no, he's got no quit in him, Sam. He's like a little pit bull.
He does have just an abrasion. It looks like it, too, is on the other eye now, which is the right. And you know they'll be feverishly working on those eyes in between this. The bell sounds as we glide into round 5. Scheduled for 12 rounds, but now, just as in the Kid Akeem Anafawasi fight, fought here in San Antonio in June of '91, the fight of the year, as proclaimed by Ring Magazine. Quiroga winning there in a very close 12-rounder. Cuts to become a factor in the fight on Quiroga. 2 over the left eye, 1 over the right. Borboa unmarked at the moment.
And Borboa settled into a boxing style here. He's walking to Robert, walking to him with a left jab, little quick left jab, and he works those uppercuts to both sides off of that. Robert's still down in the pocket there, looking to pressure this guy, but half the time he's backing up and pivoting out himself.
One of the most difficult things for a judge at ringside is to avoid looking at the cuts. Watch the way the guy is still coming to fight in the round. That's one of the things that kind of shades their decisions from time to time. Not to say that it's doing it at the moment, but it always comes into play when a fighter's been hurt.
Good left hook counter by Quiroga, and left uppercut by the challenger.
The left jab really working on the right eye of Quiroga that just was opened in the last round.
Robert's got to get in and punch. He's posing on the outside. He's waiting.
Borboa's camp all week long says that their man has seen all of the previous fights of Quiroga and felt that he was hittable and his man could hit better. And so far, the challenger from Sonora has come in to do a job. But Quiroga now turns the challenger into the ropes. A good left hook gets him in trouble. Borboa trying to fight back out of trouble.
Robert's got to make something happen here, Sam. This fight's slipping away from him. That's it. That's where he wants him. He wants him on the ropes. That's his fight. He's got to put him there, though, and he's got to work once he gets him there. Borboa content just to box on the outside. Now he knows this is a battle of attrition, and time is on his side.
A right hand by Borboa, a left hook by Quiroga, another right hand by Borboa. A left hook that time by Quiroga slips in. Closing seconds of the 5th round. The cuts, by the way, have not looked as if they've been as vicious, or at least giving him as much trouble here in this 5th round. Cedric Kushner Sports Network brings you World Championship Boxing from San Antonio. Brought to you by Corona Extra. Sam Smith along with Bob Spagnola, the start of our series. World title fights around the world. Delighted you could join us here today.
A 3-punch combination by the champion as Borboa answers back.
The champion Quiroga, solid white
Good
with
left
a
hook to the
red trim. The white with the blue trim belongs to Borboa. A little heard from. Robert Gonzalez, the referee, steps in for a warning to the two fighters for holding behind the head. But for the most part, has been a forgotten man, and that makes a good referee in a good fight. You can see Quiroga trying to jab his way inside.
That's what he has to do, Sam. He's got to jab his way in, but once he's in, he's got to work that body. Nice uppercut from the outside by the challenger.
A crouching style of Quiroga sets up that uppercut by the challenger.
Yeah, it's really a style that, you know, it's handmade for Borboa.
There's the action that Quiroga fans love to see.
That left hook for Robert's been the punch that's working for him, and he needs to stay right on that.
This has almost been the tale of two fights so far. Borboa would look like to be a big start against the major cuts of Quiroga. Now the champion firing back.
For the first time in the fight, Robert Quiroga is backing up Borboa to the ropes. And there's that uppercut by Borboa answering back.
I guess there's one thing I've got to learn if I do the Quiroga fights as I have for almost his entire career. I got to stop worrying about cuts on this guy. He cuts, but he just keeps on coming. Unbelievable. And we are nearing the halfway point of this scheduled 12-rounder for the junior bantamweight title in the International Boxing Federation.
Roberts looping in that left hook now with some success in this round. There it goes again.
Borboa looks, even though he's still crisply punching, almost a little fatigue setting in when Quiroga gets in there on him.
Good combination by Borboa there, answering back, Sam. I scored that last round even. Oh, good hooks by Robert Quiroga to start this round, but no visible effect. Oh, good right hand counter by the challenger.
Well, if we had to write a script for you in the beginning of our World Championship Series on the network, we probably could have written a much better one for you. An excellent light heavyweight fight today. Adolfo Washington with a win and a unanimous decision over Drake Fadze, the Canadian champion. And now in the world title fight, we're in round number 7. Quiroga and Borboa.
Roberts got to push that momentum he gained in the last round, and Borboa seems like the one that's coming on with about a 10-punch combination there at the middle of the ring. Excellent jobs on the cut done by Beto Martinez.
And Quiroga clearly has turned this fight back around. Even though it was an even 6th round, he, with all of the cuts and all the problems, is at least now taking advantage of some opportunities.
He's thrusting himself back up in there.
So many times when a fighter is cut, he suddenly becomes a very defensive fighter. That is not Quiroga's style. He takes a lot of punches. He must be offensive, and now he is once again.
Fans imploring Quiroga to turn it up here. Oh, good combination by the challenger there.
Clubbing right hand. Crowd liked it. Didn't do much damage there to Borboa. Those digging left and right hands to Borboa do to the champion, and Quiroga fires them right back at him. You see the time winding down in round number 7. You know, it's almost amazing visiting with the champion in the hotel lobby today to think in his mind he's going, you know, I've got to go through that 12 rounds of, excuse the expression, pure hell once again to defend my title, and here he's doing it again. There's a stop in the action with some tape on the glove of Borboa. Stop in the action here by referee Bobby Gonzalez. That is for the safety of Quiroga as much as Borboa. The fact that tape lashing across the eye and etc. Wisely stopping the time momentarily. Left hook by Quiroga. Borboa starting to go backwards once again here in round 7. On the ropes.
He's boxing in this fight now, Sam, a lot more than we thought he would in the beginning. I thought he was a slugger.
And the bell ends as they continue to punch at the end of the round. Quiroga tries to slip one more in. And now, as he takes his seat, Bobby Gonzalez has gone completely across the ring to warn the challenger, and now he comes into the champion's corner.
Bobby Gonzalez taking complete control of this fight like a good referee.
That's the end of the round. May have been as much action after the bell sounded as we've seen all night. 1, 2. And boom. Tried to slip one more in, didn't he?
One for the West Side. But this Borboa, Sam, coming into this fight, I'd only seen him with Alfred Cote, which is a fight. He boxed against a boxer. He moved right to him, pressured him the entire fight. In this fight, he's showing that he's an adaptable fighter. He started off moving forward. Now he's boxing. He's got a very educated left hand. He's given Robert Quiroga a lot of trouble here.
Well, they don't hesitate to come out throwing leather in the 8th round. As again, it is Quiroga in the white. Borboa in the white with a blue trim. And Quiroga's got Borboa on the ropes. Tries to use his elbows to keep him there.
Robert's got to make this a street fight right now, and he started by the end of the last round.
Quiroga has gone 12 rounds in 7 of his last 9 fights, including his last 4 in a row. Knockouts, he of course has had 11 in his 20 wins, but he got 9 of those in his first 11 fights.
Right, and a lot of that is just as he progressed as his fighter, his quality of opposition increased. Good right hand by the champion, but Barbosa rolled it somewhat, Sam.
4 of the 5 defenses have gone 12 rounds. The only one that did not was his first title defense in October of 1990, a 4th-round TKO over Buyani Nini of South Africa.
But this is the pressure. This is what Robert has got to do to win this fight. He's got to stay on this guy. It might not be pretty, Sam, but he's got to pressure this guy chest to chest. He can't fight Borboa from the outside. He's already demonstrated that in the first half of this fight. This is what he's got to do. In here, that's it. Down to the body. And that's just what he is doing, too.
He's ripping
making a street fight out of this.
Yep. I tell you another kid that's able to do this same thing, and that's your world champion, and Orlando Canizales, the bantamweight champion. He gets stung, and he comes out just as mad as a hornet and does the same thing Quiroga is able to do. Muster something from inside that is not teachable.
It's the heart of a champion, and both kids in this ring tonight have it, Sam. There's no doubt about that.
Borboa's going to get a lot of fights, and he may even win a world title today.
but he's allowing Robert Quiroga to take over this fight, backing him up. This has been one of the best rounds Robert's had in the entire fight. Working the body downstairs. He's got to move forward.
We're going to put a pencil to Bob Spagnola's scorecard at the end of this round and give you at least our unofficial scoring. Keep in mind the 3 judges will do that if we go 12. And now Borboa backs up the champion again. Quiroga again. The cut people. Hector Perez, Beto Martinez have closed the gashes. The champions fighting against a very game challenger to end round 8.
Going down the freeway.
And never stop. Round 9, world title fight. Quiroga in the white. Borboa in the white with the blue. Quiroga gets caught with a combination.
That was a knockdown, Sam. Robert's hand touched the canvas.
So again, a touch there that was not called by Bobby Gonzalez. Borboa, you saw him also seeing that Quiroga was in trouble again, came swarming himself. Borboa has kind of snatched away the advantage that Quiroga might have built up in the last round.
Yeah, he started this round very strongly. But the tape is loose there. Bobby Gonzalez might have to get in here, and good shots to the body by Robert Quiroga.
Our unofficial card here at ringside. A 1-point lead by Borboa. That's how close this fight is. But again, totally unofficial. Heading to the halfway mark of round 9, and listen to this crowd in San Antonio.
Those short little punches on the inside by Borboa.
And now the tape backs up once again. I have been the commentator for the USBA championship by Quiroga, beating a very good Raymond Medell, also of San Antonio. Fight of the year by the USBA. The Kid Akeem fight with Quiroga in '91. Ring Magazine, fight of the year on television. And we may be looking at the fight of the year again here today.
That's one thing, though, Sam, as a manager. You don't want your fighter in the fight of the year.
No.
Maybe give him the fighter of the year, but when he's in all those fight of the years, it means he's taking a lot of punishment as well as giving it.
We may have to come up with a new superlative. No longer can you just call it a war. This is the quintessential junior bantamweight title fight.
Borboa's turned this fight around in this round. It's incredible after a fight like this at this pace, he doesn't have a mark on him, Sam.
And Quiroga has landed some shots, I tell you. They are, of course, using the Reyes gloves. A left hook by Quiroga.
Robert's best punch of the round, but it doesn't really do much damage.
Negated by a good straight left hand by Borboa. Every time Quiroga seems to take a little advantage, Borboa steals it back.
He just lets those punches flow. He looks like Alexis Arguello the way he works that left hand.
10 seconds to go in round 9.
Again, a looping right by Borboa finds the mark.
And there's the bell to end the night. The Kushner Sports Network, brought to you by Corona Extra, brings you World Title Championship fight. Robert Quiroga, Julio Cesar Borboa. Quiroga in the white, defending his title today in his hometown.
This Borboa has shown an incredible assortment of punches, really, that you don't see from a fighter from Mexico oftentimes. He's got a great jab, nice uppercuts. He can loop the right hand. He can throw it straight. He's really confused Robert with his arsenal of punches here.
Slight lead on the unofficial card by the challenger. 88-86 through 9 rounds.
Robert's got to tough it out right here. He's got to pressure this guy and work down there. There you go, down to the body. That's what he wants to do. His vision's got to be affected somewhat, Sam. Both eyes are swollen badly. That's why he wants to be there in the inside, underneath.
If Quiroga has won many of his 12-round fights, it's been because of one thing: he's outworked you. But Borboa today has punched the time clock well. Nearing the halfway point of the 10th round, scheduled for 12. Borboa literally being vaulted into the rankings, number 9 to the IBF on the strength of his 10-round win over Alfred Cote in Philadelphia last November. And now with a chance to win a world title, and he's making the best of it. Based on what we saw with Borboa against Cote, you would have to say that we're seeing a very good fighter come in. And with Quiroga having so many close fights and so many going down to the final card, it is going to be an upset if Borboa should pull it off, but not as big based on the Cote fight that many might expect here, I think.
Well, one thing about Borboa is you have to see when you look at his record, Sam, he's fought guys up to 122 pounds. He hasn't exactly been protected. He's been put in there. He's really, if he can make 112 pounds to fight Alfred Cote, he's really a flyweight in there fighting super bantamweights at times. So his record is very deceiving based on the size of the guys he's been put in with. Here at his optimum weight of 115 pounds, you can see what you've got, an incredibly skilled fighter. And it's just unfortunate for Robert Quiroga that this is the guy they picked to fight.
He's also well conditioned as the challenger, breathing still through his nose here in the 10th round.
And stepping nicely here. He's out of the flow of moving forward. He's just boxing, taking advantage of.
This is round 11. The champion Quiroga clearly in a deficit situation against the challenger, who is virtually unmarked to the first 10 rounds. And boxing with the skills of a true champion. Quiroga, though, has the heart of a champion himself and must dig deep into his soul right now. Backing Borboa up, but not throwing a lot of punches, but digging the left hook, but gets a left one in return.
The crowd can sense when Robert Quiroga pins Borboa to the ropes that's what he needs to do to win this fight. The time's running out on the champion.
Under 5 minutes to go in the fight now. Borboa again continuing to throw punches. Quiroga, where he does not want to be, on his bike going backwards. Right hand by Quiroga was answered nicely by Borboa. There was a good opportunity for Quiroga should he get by this fight, and again, it's still in the hands of the judges, it appears now. Would make his mandatory title defense against Joel Luna here in San Antonio, but Borboa is the man that wants the belt.
Borboa, I can't begin to say enough about his left hand. He throws a triple jab and a hook and right back to the jab and then an uppercut.
This may be one of the most skilled performances we have seen in a long, long time of the young man from Sonora.
Beautiful exhibition of boxing here. Right hand of the temple by the champion has little effect.
Even though the crowd is making noise that you can hear, it is not what we have seen in the Quiroga fights before. Up and cheering and screaming, trying to do their best, but the 6,000 plus here are falling a little bit quieter with each round. Classic fight in San Antonio is winding to a finish.
Robert Quiroga's got to make something happen here, Sam.
And the very skill-like attack of Borboa continues to keep the champion on his heels.
Borboa looks fresh as the first round here.
He does indeed. Tremendous condition. Not to say that Quiroga is not in condition, but he has definitely taken a pounding today. In a city that's 63% Hispanic, you know, somewhere, even though in their hearts they're cheering for Quiroga, they've got to also have that Mexican pride for this young man from Sonora who's come in so brilliantly today.
Yeah, the LULAC fans have had plenty to cheer about here in San Antonio today, but it's not going to be Robert Quiroga's night.
Quiroga has been quoted in the paper all week long that he would like to fight until the age of 25. But it appears, based on this afternoon's fight, he'll have to fight it as a challenger rather than as a champion, as Borboa has gone from a dream to close to a reality.
Well, Robert Quiroga is the kind of a man that will come back from this, Sam. You can't have your night every night. But he will be back. If I'm any judge of character, he's got no quit in him. This wasn't his night.
I would not be shocked if the cards were maybe closer than the 4 points we have it here at ringside. But you know that Robert Quiroga, in the eyes of the three judges looking on right now, has had himself a handful.
Robert's fighting to survive right now.
Borboa putting on a show. Wow. Dave McCullough of Houston, Gerald Molt of Tucson, and Pedro Nieto from Mexico City, the three judges that'll make the final decision. Quiroga now bleeding profusely from both the left and the right eye. And now they are indeed going to go look and let the doctors take a look at it. I would imagine at this stage of the game, this late in the round, this is, I won't say a little bit ridiculous, but certainly the safety of the fighter has to be considered as well. And the fight is over. And the stage is being totally inundated with beer cups and what have you, as this crowd in San Antonio not totally pleased with the stoppage of the fight.